Thanks for staying with us. Now, many Nigerians are unknowingly aiding cyber criminals by oversharing personal information on social media. Details like birthdays, job changes, travel updates, and banking habits give fraudsters enough data to impersonate users, answer security questions, or deceive their contacts with cloned accounts. Scammers patiently study online behavior and strike when the opportunity is right, sending fake job offers, loan scams, or urgent pleas for help. Real-time location posts and workplace tags also expose users to phishing attacks and corporate security risk. Experts urge users to adjust privacy settings, avoid posting sensitive content, and verify suspicious messages, even from familiar accounts. Celebrating milestones is fine, but mindful sharing is key to staying safe in today's digital world. Those are the words of experts, but we'll have to find out what the true picture is and explanations to some of these things that have been mentioned in that report. And our guest this morning is Toluwase Olaniyan, Executive Director, Ego Foundation. Good morning and welcome to the program, Tolu.
Good morning and thanks for having me today.
Good morning.
Did I get that right? Ego Foundation, or is
Ego?
Is Ego?
Ego Foundation.
Ego. Like in money in Igbo language, right?
I like that.
But it's an acronym for Enterprise Growth and Opportunities.
At this point,
so that's EGO.
At this point, I don't care. It's Ego. Ego is Ego.
But it's Ego Foundation. Thank you.
Okay, so it's scary because a lot of people now in this social media age or the internet age want to be, very trendy. They want to be up to date and all that, and because of that, possibly they fall victims to a lot of these scammers and all that. But help us make sense to how you can easily fall victim to these scammers beyond what we just read in that report.
Okay, it'll be pretty interesting. So they call it proof of life, right? This is POF. So at first when I saw POF, POL rather, proof of life. I mean, I was wondering what it was, but yeah, this is proof of life. And a lot of people have actually, so I don't think there's one way out of it, because the scammers get more intelligent per time, right? They call people's data, user data, to form newer and, for lack of better word, better models to be able to attack people. And I think that what I've always recommended is for people to be able to censor what they push out and what they want people to know about them, right? This also does not invalidate the fact that we need to keep a healthy digital presence to be able to allow people also be able to profile us in certain ways. However, I think that putting out too much information out there sometimes could be dangerous. And I mean, I'm excited to also go deep into this topic today.
At what point can we start this game of being cautious? Because if, for instance, you want to download an app, they will ask you a lot of things, and if you don't fill out some sections, then you are not allowed to use it. Then you want to try out this app, and then you're going ahead to fill all these things, and then we don't read the fine print. We just agree to terms and conditions and all that. So where do we draw the line? Is it that whatever app is asking us to give that information we should ignore, or we are talking about personal information that is just shared in that space? Maybe you're telling people on Instagram or any other social media your travel arrangements and all those things. What are the ones that we should be careful of sharing so that we don't fall into the hands of scammers?
Oh, okay. So app usage is one thing. Social media usage is another thing, right? For most of the apps have rules and regulations guiding them, right? And because they are legal entities, they can be sued, right? They can be, legal actions can be taken. But first, like I always recommend to people, is read the terms and conditions if you are not comfortable with the volume of data or information being requested by this app, right? Read the terms and conditions. If you do not need to use it, then you do not need to use it, right? if you do not need to include your credit, if you do not feel comfortable including your credit card details because you feel that there are some compromising situations around you or around the app, do not include your details, right? It only means that you'll be able to buy the service, but if you need to buy it, you can then create a card, a specific card for that purpose if this is an essential service for you, right? There are ways that individuals and organizations manage all of this, right? So I know people who, for transactions online, have just one specific card, right, and will never use another card on online, right? So if they're exposing just one of their cards, unlike some other people who would try almost all of their cards in bids to be able to access this service or buy these products, right? So that's on one side. Now on social media, I think that we're also in the era of people carelessly just sharing their information, right? I mean, I saw on one group where they promised to give some people some money for some reasons, and people were dropping their BVN and their NIN on the groups. And that's what it cost. It probably just cost 5,000 naira to buy people's BVN and NIN, not knowing that your BVN and NIN are linked to all of your bank accounts. And you say, oh, we are giving out 5,000 today, where you must be able to drop your BVN and your NIN. And people were dropping their BVN and their NIN, right? And that's a small business plan. You drop your BVN, you drop your NIN, I give you 5,000. I get access to your account. Any day I see 4,000 there, I take 3,000. The next time I see 10,000, I take 7,000. I've made my money back, right? So how we then share very sensitive information on social media, we also need to be careful, right? People travel, and yes, it's also valid, proof of life. I mean, share your location, but there are also smarter ways to do this, right? Some people share the location of where they travel to only after they've left the location.
I'm one of those people, yeah.
Yeah, so it's almost difficult to track they have. However, you are still able to trace their travel footprint and say, oh, you were here at so time, you were here at so time. Now, if this is information that you think will be detrimental to your personal profile, it's also safe not to share, right? The internet never forgets, right? It might be for cyber attack, it might be for cyber bullying, it might be for whatever reason. The internet never forgets, right? So I tell people, be sensitive and be cautious of what you put on the internet, because the internet never forgets. They will go dig it out. And in minutes, everything is on the outside.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, especially with that location thing. I always say that I do not post in, when I'm there. I post after the fact, and it could be months after the fact, just because I'm trying to protect myself. And I remember there was a musician, I think a South African musician called AKA, and he had posted where he was, and before you know, he was attacked and he was killed. So obviously this could even lead to death. But let's talk about cyber crime. Do you think people seeing your footprint on the internet is a way for them to even profile you if they want to scam you? Maybe they see the things that you post, the places you go to, the friends that you have, and then use that to, look for, create a scam, a personalized scam for you. Is that possible?
So let me tell you what a lot of people do, right?
Yeah.
Some people actually sit behind their computer, pick certain individuals, and profile their followers and their followings, right? So they say, oh, this person is following so person, following so person, following so person. Oh, fantastic. We'll then go after this. And some people, right, in bid to perpetrate this crime, find their ways into your circle. And that's why Instagram, the platform on Instagram also, most of the platform also ensure that they put privacy settings, or only you can accept the people who follow you or that you follow.
Yeah.
Just so that people to screen your circle, because people profiling is, there are different level of scams, right? The ones that we see around here of your account being debited is even very, very, is one of the least, one of their least products, right? Profiling, social media profiling is one of the most interesting one, because they go evaluate the people that you're following, see what you're what, right? There are 365 days in a year. You spend only 65 days in Nigeria. You spend the remaining in Canada. Oh, they are asking, is it for business? Is it for work? Is it for this? Is it for that? Once they're able to check, they don't know how next to. So some people profile some cyber, some cyber criminals profile people for as long as 2-3 years before they
Wow.
then make their move. Yeah, because they want to be sure that it's worth it, right? So yes, I mean, social media profiling is actually very, very real, and that's why we need to be like very, 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 very careful.
So let's talk about, I know there's a thing on Instagram, I think WhatsApp as well, a two-factor authentication, whereby you need to be able to, have that two-factor in case anybody gets to hack into your social media platform. And I know that on WhatsApp, you can be in a group, and next thing there's someone else in that group, and that person is asking so many people for money. In fact, that even happened, to one of our staff here, whereby that contact was asking people for money and saying, oh, please borrow me this money, borrow me that. So how is it, important that people get to authenticate, use that two-factor authentication to ensure that their own numbers, whether it's on WhatsApp or their social media pages, whatever the case might be, is so safe, so that these scammers do not just get to them, number one, but even their circle, the people around them.
And does it work?
Yeah. So interestingly, right? We are just a bit too lazy in this part of the world, right? Two-factor authentication is one of the things that we're supposed to set up almost immediately, right? So I'll tell you what those guys do. Immediately they call you and say, or they send you a text and say, we're very religious in this part of the world. They say there is this revival going on in church, and it's a closed circle of prayer band, and we want to pray for you. In fact, they say, it's your child's school. We want to move our PTA meeting to Zoom, but we want to send you a link.
I know about those links, yeah.
Yeah, or some will say that just while you're on this call now, you get a code. Now that code is for the two-factor authentication verification, right? And they say, we want to send you a code. And as soon as you give them the code, they log you out of your own WhatsApp account, and they now have possession of it. And they then use that on the group where you are. And so before, it used to be people who were, high profile and well trusted. Also profiling, they will have profiled you and say, these people believe in this person, and they know this person can do this kind of thing. And they will then start. So it happened to one of my friends. Where we knew it was a lie was the person was asking for 50,000 naira from almost all the people in the group. But we knew that this person would never ask you. This person would most likely ask you for money in millions. But for 50,000 naira, this is not true. Right? This is not true. This person will ask you for 50,000 naira.
Time gone wrong.
No, it's not. So they didn't profile that person well, right?
Yeah.
So they just say, we want to do this thing, and they start saying either borrow me money, or either, I want you to send money to somebody, or I will double it for you. And we fall for greed. So I said to people, this is very important, right? You set up the two-factor authentication. Once you open your WhatsApp on the settings page, is one of the options that you see. Set it up. But a lot of people probably use one of their other primary accounts to use as verification. They say they will forget the login, they will forget this, they will forget that. So they always refuse to. But I say, to be able to keep your sanity, to be able to keep your name, to be able to keep your account, because some people never recover their accounts. They never get back their accounts once hackers like that take it from them, right? So I say, ensure you set up your two-factor authentication. It saves you not just on your WhatsApp, but on your Instagram, and particularly on your email addresses, like on your Gmail and all of your mail. Set up your two-factor authentication. So it's more difficult for these people to get a hold of it, right? Just imagine that someone now has access to your email at least for 24 hours. I'm sure enough damage can be done.
Well, funny thing is, not a lot of people even know that these things exist, especially for email. A lot of people know for WhatsApp and a few other social media apps, and that's the end. So how do we get this information out for people to be able to know what to do? Because now they might hear you saying this, but they don't even know where to press, where to go to before they do the authentication. That means they are prone to any kind of scam that might come. And a second question is, because that was not what I intended, the second question is, does algorithm have anything to do with the kind of scammers that come to you?
Oh yes. So your algorithm also has like a very huge role to play, right? You also know that. So these scammers, right? Except especially the high profile one, you know those guys are also they are hackers, right? You know, hacking is a full-time course in the university, and there's ethical hacking. So they are actually programmers. So they actually write codes. They write codes to be able to profile people and set up algorithm to be able to track people, right? So one can't be too careful, to be very honest, right? People say, "Oh, this is I'm thinking," or I search for shoes on Instagram and on every other platform, or I search for shoes on Google and on every other platforms. I'm now saying shoes. I'm saying that I want to eat Afran soup, and I open my WhatsApp and I'm saying, I open my Instagram, I open my Google, and I'm seeing recommendation of kitchens, and you already give access to your phone, which probably picks your mic, which picks because you speak to your phone to ask for something, so it probably then picks. So there are a lot of things around the algorithms and all of it that now almost do not work in our favor, particularly because we're like a very conservative space, maybe. But a lot of these algorithms now come together, sometimes not work in our favor. But also being able to then manage it will be very, very important. One can be too careful. One can be too careful because we now live a lot of our life on the internet, right? I mean, any small thing, you're checking the internet, you're confirming, you're doing this. But it's now being careful with your personal space, right? What the hacker, what the hacker wants to take is either your money or your integrity. How then do you protect this to ensure that they do not get access to it, right? Particularly your money, particularly your money that you not get access to it, and also greed, right? So greed is an aligning factor to allow hackers also be able to access you, right? A lot of parts we are too greedy. We are too greedy. They are saying there's this principle somewhere. Once you do this, you get the person's money, and sharp you want to do it, right? Just in name of getting like quick money, right? Greed is it. Also for the Gmail, for the Gmail part, once you go to your setting and you walk through it, there are parts where you then see your two-factor authentication. So because there's no a full-time training, I'm unable to do simulation, but you see it asking you, in fact, Google now prompts you to set up your two-factor authentication, right? So one, either use an alternate email, or two, and also use an alternate phone number. We also ask you like other questions to set up a two-factor authentication. I think even Gmail, Google started it first, or started in the early days, right, to create some level of protection, right? Because people's emails were being hijacked and being used to carry out heavy fraud. So Gmail set up that account first. So in your Gmail settings, you can find your two-factor authentication setting to from there.
All right, so what we're really speaking on is the post that we makes us easy targets. So at this point now, what post do I make? Do I go off social media just because I want to protect myself entirely?
Yeah, so you can make posts without totally giving out information, right? You can say so much without, so you just got a job, you move into a new place, even though, and the platform you use to share what kind of information also matter a lot, right? So you just got a new job and you want to announce it, right? I would assume that LinkedIn is like the right place to assume and say, oh, I now work here, right? If you bring it to Facebook, you might get a bit more kind of attention than needed, right? So what they're doing on LinkedIn is absolutely beautiful. That's what they do there, right? You want to travel, or you want to travel, or you run a travel business, or you want to run a travel business, and you want to show people that you travel. And this is why we do all of this thing for validation, right? You want to run the travel business. But first, you want to show that you travel well enough. Ensure that as you are putting your travel conversation out there, you're putting information that people can find to use, and not that they see that it is leisure for you, that is excess leisure. Because sometimes we communicate luxury even when we are broke. And unfortunately, people then come after us because they think, in fact, sometimes I ask myself, what am I posting? At some time of the month, I see people reaching out to me to ask for this, can I get this, can I get it? And I'm saying, what have I posted of recent? That
For them to profile me like this.
you don't understand, right? So, so we must, so we can actually share content. I mean, the best way, saying so much without saying so much, right? Just passing the information that you need to pass if you need to. And if you want to position leisure, it's also beautiful, but then also be sensitive enough not to give out too many information around this leisure. I mean, sometimes people list all the people they are with, people list the location, people list when next they are going to that location, people, and it then makes it very, very easy for them to be targeted. You know that this person, you know, someone is saying every Friday night at so club. So we know if we want to get money from you, scam you, abduct you, and all of those things, we can go to some place, we will find you, right? So you can say so much without saying so much, right? You can write all the things without saying so much. I mean, so I said to people, yeah, I mean, social media is there to use for validation for all of it. But we can also say some people don't have the picture of their family on their social media pages, right? And that's to protect their families too. That does not mean people don't know that they are married or that they have a family. They do. But that not showing it there does not mean that. And if you want to show that you have a beautiful family, there are also ways to show it without saying so much and without putting them to risk, right? So understanding how to use social media cautiously, saying so without saying so much is also then very, very, very important. This cannot be taught to anybody, but it's also to the extent that you're comfortable sharing.
Yeah, I think there has to be that responsibility with whatever you're using, whatever you're doing. So just use it responsibly. The way you say drink responsibly, use social media responsibly.
Yeah, but
use social media responsibly.
You were wondering what you post that make people request for some things. You are the chief executive director, Ego Foundation. Ego, I told you that I don't care what it means. It's ego. As in money. That's what you said.
It is a foundation. I can tell that once
it's like setting where you can go to find money. So that's all. So don't look any further. But you know, just for the purpose of emphasis as we wrap up, just tell us loopholes to avoid. We've been saying it in pockets here and there. All the things we've been saying here is what we do that make people target us and scam us and all that. So let's just summarize these things to avoid, things to do to make sure we don't fall victim.
Oh, okay. So number one, manage what you share. Primarily, number one, right? Manage what you share. Number two, when and where necessary, turn on and turn off your live location, right? When and when necessary. So I have colleagues who, when going out, when going for a meeting, when going for official meeting, would set their live location and turn on their live location, right? So it's easy to track them. And when it's necessary, turn off your live location, right? Per time, right? Please do not share your credit card. Do not excessively share your credit card details online, right? I mean, that also exposes you a lot. Even if it's in front of your ATM, or no, please do not share it online. Do not allow any flex allow you to share it online. And lastly is, I mean, you really do not have to live privately, but when you do not need to, ensure that you position the way you need to position, right? I mean, some people have been abducted for a ransom of 10 million, only for people who got them to realize that there's no way they can get 10,000 naira from them or their relatives, right? I mean, again, I know that people want to fake it till you make it, but then I recommend that you also put a bit of moderation in the content that we share and that's how we position online. I mean, protect us and then, or put us at risk at some point. So yeah, so there are 3 tips that I would give this morning.
Okay, well, thank you for your time this morning. It's been an enlightening one. When you were talking, I was looking at my Gmail to see whether I can get the authentication. I will still wear my glasses later on and find out what I can do to protect myself. In some of these apps is hidden in grammar that we do not even understand, but it's just to study them and make sure that we get there.
I think with your Gmail, you probably want to use a computer. So
I think if you give your 6-year-old, they will figure it out for you and, sort it out.
Unfortunately, I don't have a 6-year-old.
Well, you have to look for a 6-year-old.
Okay. Thank you so much, Toluwase, for coming on the program this morning. It's been a very lovely time having you with us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
We've been talking with Toluwase Olaniyan, Executive Director, Ego Foundation, and we're looking at what makes us easy target for scammers and how to avoid them. Next, we'll be looking at opposition coalition picking ADC and David Mark to lead. Stay with us.